Yes, welcome,
Hey,
welcome,
sister.
welcome, everyone. Uh, Let me just give you guys a quick rundown. Welcome, hey, sister girl, another episode. I'm super excited. I wasn't here last week, but I am here tonight. Thank you, ladies, for giving me this little portion in the beginning. But let me just tell you real quick about the show tonight. Tonight, we're going to focus on answering the most common questions about the carnivore diet because here we are in January 2025, and this is World Carnivore Month. Um, I'm going to no. Then next is going to have DeNitra. She's going to break down the science of it, and then we're going to have Robyn, who's going to give us some practical tips. But let me just start by saying this, everyone. I'm on a cruise ship, then, and we kind of said that last week. And when you introduce this lifestyle, when you are introduced to the and you are actively participating as a carnivore, right? You're actively participating as a carnivore, you start seeing other things. You start understanding that person is wobbling when they walk, those bone spurs. Oh, I've seen so much in skin. So I'm going to show you guys a few pictures, and I want you to see what inflammation really looks like. And if you identify with any of these pictures that I'm about to show, if you or your friend or you know someone, share this with them. This is not normal what I'm getting ready to show you. We have just accepted it, right? Have you noticed anyone that the back of your arm and elbow is like this? Here's another lady. Look at the discolor. First of all, where's her ankle? Okay, where's her ankle? And I'm gonna let you know this was a slim woman with all this fluid down. That's the part I'm gonna let you know. Are there any body shapes here that is familiar to you? Just the body shapes. That's what we're talking about, right? What about ankles, dry skin, cracked nails? Is this, are you familiar with that? What about this one? This is his skin. This is a Caucasian man turning black in front of us. Now, this is the last one I'm going to show you. This young lady here, this was, I grabbed this picture within the last 2 days. So this is actively going on now, right? She's in the hospital talking about the flu, but this is her leg. All I can say is that um, there is so much that we're trying to convey. That's not how we're supposed to live, everybody. I can't say that enough. I, I'm on this ship. I'm having this conversation. People are watching me eat only meat. So the last picture I'm going to show you, which we might show again, people ask about the carnivore diet. It's like, well, what is it that I'm supposed to do? That's your carnivore diet right there. They got all kind of eggs. That's fish, beef. That's the carnivore diet. Now, I'm gonna shoot this off to. Let me see. I want to make sure, y'all. I'm sorry that I took that up. We didn't even get all the way through the intro, but I now understand when DeNitra's on here and she's always having these conversations, and God knows who to put together, when to put together, how to put together. He's awesome. And now DeNitra had to get on me earlier. She said I'm being a little harsh with mine. So I had to stop. I didn't think that it was harsh though. I really didn't, y'all. And I might, if I remember, I'll tell if y'all remind me in the comments in about 30 minutes, I'm gonna tell y'all about it. But in the meantime, DeNitra, what we got going on? Give us the science of the carnivore diet. Help the people. Up,
You're on mute,
there
DeNitra.
you go.
Thank you, G, and
There.
thank you for capturing those pictures. I do that quite often as well because I often say, my favorite term is insulin resistance, and so I often say that insulin resistance doesn't have a size, but it does have a look. Doesn't matter what size you are, but there is a look to insulin resistance. And so tonight, our goal is really to dive a little deeper into why we've chosen insulin resistance, not insulin resistance, why we've chosen carnivore as opposed to insulin resistance. And ideally, we have to go back in time. So if you think about it, if you're starting to feel sluggish, you're feeling tired, you don't feel well, you have things going on that just feel like they are somewhat unexplainable. And you know for yourself that you are trying to do all that you can to be healthy, but yet you find yourself consistently in an unhealthy place. This is why we have moved to carnivore. Essentially, carnivore is what we call an elimination diet,
Yeah.
right? You will hear us talk about inflammation a lot, and what inflammation is and what chronic inflammation is. But essentially, when you're eating a carnivore diet, it means that you have eliminated everything that can be inflammatory. And
Mm.
y'all know I like taking my pauses, so let's just pause. See, I brought my Amen Club. That's why G and Robyn head shaking.
Wait a minute, girl, because listen, let me just say, I was able to explain this to someone because I'm a student of yours. DeNitra, if you don't know, girl, I be hanging on almost every word that you say because you speak my language. And so I have to break it down elementary for me. Maybe not for y'all, but for me. And so we use this word insulin. So let's go back to a teaspoon of sugar is all you're supposed to have. When you go over that, your body is now starting to resist the help that your body is trying to give you, which is the insulin. Now, when you cut all of this out and you have one thing, then all of a sudden the pain came back because I'm sensitive to sugar. I'm sensitive to everything outside of meat. And that, so when she's using the terminology of insulin resistant, insulin sensitivity, you get sensitive, right, to any sugar now in my body. It won't take 2, 3 meals and all this other stuff. So that's what I wanted to add. I'm finna mute.
No, you got that. You got that exactly right. And this is the thing. So, because meat has been demonized, we have a hard time seeing it as the thing that really does not cause the inflammation, because we've been told that red meat, eating meat, is what makes you sick. Meat rots in you. Meat this, meat that. And so those are all the things that we've been fed that tend to make us look at a Robyn and a G and a DeNitra kind of crazy, because we're saying when you eliminate everything else, those are the inflammatory things. And so I do have a little diagram I want to show really quickly. Bear with me 1 second. Tell me if you can see it, ladies.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay.
It's up.
So I did this right over the holidays, because I get this question often, and I call it a little nutritional nugget. It's just something for you all to consider. So when we talk about carnivore, you have to dial back and talk about, again, what are the carbohydrates? And so I did a deep dive. Remember, I'm an educator, I'm a teacher, so I show up like a teacher always. So when you ask yourself, what are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are sugar molecules. All right. So the facts to consider are all plants are carbohydrates. All carbohydrates metabolize as sugar. And then sugar spikes blood, causing an insulin response. No matter when you eat, insulin is going to respond. Depending on what you ate is how insulin decide the way it's going to respond. So the bottom line is, anything that is plant-based, it is sugar-based. Not that this is a bad thing for some people, right? And I say that because our goal is not to beat up plants. Our goal is to make you aware of the things that you're eating that you consider healthy without weighing the cons, right? So when we look at a simple carbohydrate, and this is straight Googleable, okay? A simple carbohydrate, which is the thing that they call fruits, candy, cookies, cakes, ultra-processed foods, sugary drinks. That's the delicatessens we like. That is called, the molecular structure of that is 1 to 2 sugar molecules. You're going to see it as a mono or disaccharide. Saccharide means sugar. And it tells you that the digestion of that is a quick digestion, absorbs fast. The blood sugar impact is rapid blood sugar spike. So now we know when I eat cookies, cakes, candy, I'm going to have a quick spike. All right. So the thing that they try to teach us that is a better carb for us, and these are healthy carbs, they call those complex carbs. Now, how they got to these are better, I can't figure it out, especially once I did the homework, because the homework says molecular structure, many sugar molecules. It's called polysaccharides. We just learned that saccharides means sugar. We know poly means many. So now you got many sugars. So then the digestion, they say it moves a little slower. And it's a gradual blood sugar rise. It's gradual. And then the sources of that are your whole grains, your legumes, your vegetables, your starchy foods. And I put processed foods here because there is a difference between processed and ultra processed. And so with that, I want you all to be able to see that at any given time that you are eating plant-based, you are eating sugar-based. And so I just want to stop for a moment and let that set in, because this is the only way to be able to really understand why we are carnivore and why carnivore works. Okay? So now that you know that, the plants are sugar, then when we move to carnivore and we start talking about eating animal-based, that is when you get into your protein and your fats. So oftentimes I hear people say this: everything got sugar in it. You can't eat nothing that ain't got sugar in it. It's all sugar. Guess what, sugar? Meat ain't sugar. Okay? So just take that in. So when we start talking about protein and we start talking about fat, these things are not going to spike your blood sugar. So one of the main purposes of going carnivore, and we talk about eliminating the things that cause inflammation. They cause inflammation, the carbohydrates that I just showed you, they cause inflammation because they are foreign to the body. Remember, you saw polysaccharides, that's many sugars. You saw monosaccharides, you saw disaccharides. At the end of the day, it's all sugar. Sugar is foreign to the body. Okay? G broke it down, and I'm a student of hers as well. G broke it down where she reminded us that the body is only able to process about a teaspoon of sugar a day. That's it. Anything over a teaspoon of sugar is going to be hyperinsulinemia. That means high insulin, because insulin is working overtime to manage the sugar. Okay, so people get mad at us, and I'm used to it now, so bring it on. I got my whole team here, okay? So people get mad because they love their vegetables. Oh, I love vegetables. I love fruit. I ain't got no problem with that. What I need for you to understand is what you're eating is a diet of sugar. If your insulin is not bothered by that, you're not having any health challenges, then perhaps this message isn't for you. However, if you are, and you're eating a heavy plant-based, I just worked with a client recently who was a pescatarian, and we know that's vegetarian that eats seafood and some meats, primarily eating vegetables, primarily eating plants. So I'm going to put you all on, right? So think about this, and this is why we don't see weight gain real quick when we are eating plants. So think about it like this. If I drop a leaf has no weight to it. Just think about that. Leaves are lightweight, okay? If you continue to add leaves, it gets heavier. It starts to pick up weight. This is why we call plants a bulking agent, because it is going to continue to escalate into something that becomes heavy. And remember, I say on this show often that seeds never die. You know yourself, when you are watering a plant, working with a plant, I don't care how much it dies, those seeds are always available to grow more. This is what's happening in your body. This is how it becomes inflammation. So the myth is that meat is the thing that rots in your body. Meat don't rot. Meat absorbs in the body. What rots in your body is plants, plant-based, sugar-based, ultra-processed food. This stuff that we wearing on, and I talk about my own self, this stuff I'm wearing is not meat. It is some plant, some processed food, some cookie I had, some Dorito I had, and I don't even know, I can't even trace back when I ate it. Those are the things that bulk up in you. So then you ask us, why carnivore? Because you are stripping down to the bare basics of food when you are eating meat. There is no inflammation. Now, let's be clear. Processing meat and how processors do meat and all of those things, yes, those could be a factor. And this is why we say you must find a good source of meat in order to make sure you're getting good meat. Okay, now that's your homework to do. We work hard at it to make sure we're getting good butter. Some people are straight grass-fed beef. I'm a good ribeye, I'm good. Give me a pack of bacon, I'm good. Give me some ground beef, I'm good. So when you think about this opportunity to try to change over to carnivore, our ask is simple, is try it for yourself. And we're saying a lot about meat, but here's what I want people to hear is that we're asking that you eliminate some things from your diet. So start off by eliminating processed foods, taking these things out that are causing your inflammation. Start removing those things. And this is the science behind carnivore. So I always equate it to a lion and how a lion eats in the jungle, right? In the wild. They're only going to eat meat. A lion would die first before it switches over to eating all the grass that's in the wild and in the jungle. They're going to skip it, move around it. They're not going to do it. Now, there are times when they are sick that they may use it as medicinal so they can upchuck, right? And the upchuck then becomes because they were sick. So let me say, plants do have a medicinal property. And you do have to be very selective about the plants you eat for medicinal purposes. But if you are primarily a plant eater, you ain't that sick. That would be just like continuing to take a medication when you've gotten well, right? So once you are well, why are you still taking your antibiotics? The doctor told you to do that for 14 days. And now you on day 28. It made me feel good on those 14 days. So you think doing it 28 days and 32 days is going to make you feel better? No. Eventually you're going to have side effects. And that's what happens when you're eating a lot of plants. And we call them plants because if you be really serious with yourself, put on your thinking cap. Even the ultra processed foods we eat, birthday cake, it's nothing but plants all mixed up. It's flour. The sugar is from a plant. The flour that you had is from a plant. Probably the only thing that you're going to get in there that's not plant is probably some eggs. Everything in there, butter, But usually they're not using butter. They're using some kind of seed oil, and a seed oil is from a plant. So usually the only meat that you're going to get, or animal based, that you're going to get in any ultra processed food may be an egg. Everything else is plant based. You know why? Because meat costs money. So we have ultra processed foods because it's a cheap way to feed you. Rice and beans, those things are inexpensive. It is a cheap way to feed us and somehow make us think we've done something right by avoiding meat.
So
Now, I
you
will
just
say
said the
this about
quiet part out
carnivore.
loud.
Say it again.
You just said the quiet part out loud. You just told on the people.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And that is the thing, is that it doesn't matter how you spin it. Even if you go to a restaurant and you eat a big bowl of salad and you have a little piece of protein on it, they fed you that because it was cheaper to give you that salad than it was to give you 10 strips of chicken or 10 strips of steak. So they kept feeding you that. So when you hear us talking about carnivore, I want you not to get so honed in on the meat, as I want you to understand the reason why we go to the meat. We go to the meat because anything else is not common or normal for the body. It is the thing. So IBS. I got one other thing I want to show, and then I'm going to turn it over to you, Robyn. Bear with me 1 second. I just recently picked up this. I got it. I think I got it right here. I want to share this with you all. How do I get to? Hang on with me, guys. Okay, it's right here. All right, now let me figure out how do I show it from the screen. I'm a little bit goofy. But the thing to keep on considering, guys, is how to start making choices that work for you. So this is hot off the press, y'all. Never been seen. You all are the first. This is the nutritional knowledge attempt at showing you all the things that are impacted by insulin resistance. And remember, insulin resistance is an overconsumption of carbohydrates. So you go to the doctor, and we are heavy in this on our team here to ask you about your A1C. And a lot of times you go to the A1C, and doctors use that only to measure if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic. And what I want you all to keep walking away with is that is not all that number is for. That number is indicative of other things. And so if you look at what I have here, and you just take a walk around the heart, right? You're talking about diabetes, yes, and that's pre-diabetes, type 1, 1.5, type 2, type 3. Type 3 is Alzheimer's and dementia. The reason why I want you to see this is because where do you fall here? We already know that in society right now that 93% of Americans are metabolically unhealthy, which means that they are insulin resistant. Where do you fall? Which one is your heart? Is it fatty liver? And that's non-alcoholic. Is it the skin disorders, eczema, acne? Is it the visceral fat that's around your stomach? Is it your eyesight has changed? Do you have GERD, acid reflux, or even asthma? And for the men and sisters, you want to ask them, this low T, y'all are forcing these men to eat these salads and eat your vegetables, and that's causing your man to have low T. Feed that man some protein, honey. Your blood sugar. All of these things are impacted by insulin, sugar cravings, mental illness, obesity, heart disease, high blood pressure. So what's happening in our society is that the doctors are treating each one of these things individually. But there is research. There is research that shows that all of these things could be cured, reversed, better treated with taking sugar out of your diet. So all of those things are relative to insulin resistance. These are not separate ailments. It's just which one did you get? I was having a call with a client today who has acid reflux. They love to eat white rice. They love to eat out at the different restaurants. They have a select restaurant on deck of where they go. And because they're a small, tall person, they can't see the issue. However, I can see their A1C creeping. That's the first sign that there is some insulin resistance. And so tonight, again, understand the science behind it, because our bodies thrive on protein and fat. That's what you are. Carbohydrates are non-essential. You could live the rest of your life and never have carbohydrates. And so that's the deep understanding of why carnivore works, because you've eliminated stuff that should not be in your body anyway. And if you decide, I want to try this, we often say, take out the packaged foods first. Take out the things that's 50 million ingredients. Even though on the front of the package, it tells you it's 30 grams of protein, look at the back and see, is it full of plants, full of seed oils? And if so, then you know those things are going to be a problem for your body. Our goal is to help you heal. We're not medical doctors. We do not give medical advice. We're giving common, I call it uncommon science, uncommon sense, but sense nevertheless. So just take a look at that and try to think deeply about how I can start to pull some of these things back and put in more meat into my diet. If you are avoiding meat, I'm just going to say it, you are avoiding being healthy.
Healthy. Mm-hmm.
And if you are avoiding meat, then you are consuming more sugar. And you have to know for yourself personally how sugar impacts your body. I'm going to turn it over to Robyn. She's going to take us just a little bit deeper. Thanks, Robyn.
No problem. Thank you so much, DeNitra. You have answered a lot of questions. We did have a question out here about about a carbohydrate. I just want to pop this question up. I did put the response to that in the chat, but Terry wanted to know, is the hydrate in carbohydrates the part that retains water, thus causing inflammation?
So yes and no, Terry. The problem with carbohydrates is that they are sugar and they don't retain water. What they do is they dry you out. So sugar, and I'm just trying to talk super plain, not scientific, sugar is going to dry you out. You know yourself, if you take a little bit of sugar and add some water to it, then you're going to quickly see that water evaporate into the sugar. That's the same thing. So what causes the inflammation is the fact that our bodies are not hydrated with the minerals that it needs. So the sugar gets in the way of that, and it causes dehydration. So great question. You're right. It does cause dehydration, but the idea is not that it's retaining the water. It is literally sucking you dry. So the water is not staying in, the water is drying up. And this is why a lot of times when people go carnivore and things like the keto flu happens to them, and carnivore is a kind of keto. Keto just means that you are taking carbohydrates, you're lowering your carbohydrates. Essentially, you're taking sugar out and you're causing your body to use fat stores versus using glucose. You don't need exogenous glucose. You don't have to add glucose in. This is why carbohydrates are non-essential. And so when you add in eating meat, then the meat is going to absorb as nutrients in your body. Sugar is going to block that. And so the water is not necessarily being retained in and of itself. It is causing the inflammation. So remember earlier when I said like a leaf, it starts out light. This is why people can eat carbohydrates and they really cannot tell that they've picked up weight, because that leaf by itself is really light. But the more of those leaves and grass you get in, that's what causes the bulking. And that is what becomes inflammation in the body. Thank you, Robyn.
No problem. Thank you so much, DeNitra. I appreciate that response. All right. So tonight I'm going to talk a little bit. So we want to answer some questions for you guys. Some of the most common questions that are being asked about the carnivore diet as we're in World Carnivore Month, and people are trying it out. There's lots of questions. So I'd like for you guys, if you would, to just drop in the chat. How long have you been carnivore? Is this your first month? Are you just trying it out? Have you even started carnivore yet? Are you thinking about starting? So I'm just interested to know where you guys are, but I'm going to pull up my slides. Hold on a second.
While you're doing that, oh, you got it. You got it. I was just going to show some stuff, but come on, practical tips. That's what we're talking about.
Yes. So we want to just talk about a few things like how do you build a simple carnivore meal plan? What are the things that you should be thinking about? And the thing about carnivore is that it is super simple, right? So we talked about the fact that we're going to be removing those processed foods. We're going to be looking at the amount of carbohydrates that we're taking in. If you're carnivore, you should be taking in less than 5 carbohydrates a day. But if you're going to be keto, maybe you're going to be around 20 carbohydrates a day. So you want to make sure that you are understanding what are carbohydrates, that you're looking at those packages. If you're eating things that are in a package, how many carbs are in it? So simplicity, we want to focus on the nutrient-dense foods. What are the nutrient-dense foods that are bioavailable to your body? Those are ruminant meats. So those are things like beef and lamb, goat. Thank you, G, for putting that up. We want to focus on those things. We can have pork, chicken, we can have fish, seafood, all those kinds of things. So carnivore is very, very simple. So the thing about carnivore is that you should be enjoying your food. It should be delicious. And if it's not delicious, then you probably don't even need to be eating it. So stick to foods that you like. So let's say you're a person that does not like ribeye. You don't like ribeye, okay? You don't have to eat ribeye. Find the meats that you actually like. And I want to just reference Dr. Berry here because he says, if you like bologna and hot dogs, if you like potted meat, eat that. It's better than eating the plants that are, it's better than eating plants. Okay. So, eat the hot dogs. Now I have to tell you guys a story. I was at church yesterday and my father-in-law, who's our pastor, was saying that he saw an article. It came on NPR and it said, every time you eat a hot dog, you're taking 36 minutes off your life. And I said, well, I wonder how they did that study. How did they come up with that? I would love to see the science behind that. So they're reporting this out on NPR. It's coming from the University of Michigan, which is a well-known, research hospital, but 36 minutes off your life. I was like, I don't trust that because I need to understand the science behind the study that they did. And somebody was saying they probably did it on rats. Well, we're not rats, we're people, and we need to know that. So eat the food that you like, eat the meats that you like. Some people only eat ground beef every day. Some people eat only ground beef. So, that's what they like and that's what they eat. So here's an example. Eggs and bacon. All right. Skip the toast, skip the oatmeal, skip the orange juice, eat the eggs and bacon, eat enough to be full. So here's the thing. When we were eating the standard American diet, we filled up on all those plant-based foods. We filled up on the toast. We filled up on the oatmeal, right? But now you're going to fill yourself up. So you might have ate 2 eggs in the past, but now you can eat 4 because you are eating just the meat and the eggs. You might have been eating 2 slices of bacon. Now you can eat 4 or 5 slices of bacon. Maybe you can eat a half a pack of bacon. And don't worry about it because the meat is healthy for you. Okay. So you could have eggs and bacon. You could have a steak for lunch. You could have a ground beef bowl for dinner. So ground beef with some kind of something on top of it. I'm talk a little bit about that in a few minutes. So, and then another thing that you can do to simplify your life is to do meal prep. And we talk about this all the time, doing meal prep on the weekends or whatever day you have time, that you're making up a whole boatload of hamburger patties, or you're making up a whole bunch of a whole dozen or a couple dozen deviled eggs to get you through the week. You can bake some chicken. There's a lot of different things you can do with meal prepping so that when you're ready to eat, there's food ready for you. And all you have to do is heat it and eat it, or eat it cold. Purse bacon is one of my absolute favorite things. I love to meal prep the bacon. I put the bacon in a baggie, put the baggie in my purse. And my grandkids are always like, Grandma, do you have any purse bacon? They know that I'm likely to have some purse bacon in my purse. And that's because I meal prep that. And then, so you're going to keep those meats and stuff in the refrigerator for your quick meals. And then use your slow cooker. How many of us have a slow cooker and we don't use it at all?
Yes.
We're like, I just got this thing and I'm gonna put it in the yard sale because I don't even use that thing. The carnivore diet is a very good way to use your slow cooker. I'm telling you guys, I'm on this fast. I'm fasting and doing OMAD. So I like to eat in the morning. The other night I put a chuck roast in the slow cooker overnight, and in the morning it was breakfast. So that is really, really convenient. You can just cook for things that take a long time to cook, put it in there, let it cook, and then, eat it. It's real easy. The pressure cooker is super simple. It's something, if you can cook something that takes a long time to cook in a short period of time. So where that slow cooker was cooking a chuck roast for 8 hours, my pressure cooker, I'm going to cook it for an hour, and it's still going to be tender and delicious and good. So pull those tools out. Get out your air fryer. Have you guys been using your air fryer? Something I love to do in the air fryer is take a frozen steak out of the freezer, put it in the air fryer, and cook it for about, I don't know, depending on how you like your steak. I cook mine for about 10, 15 minutes, and it comes out perfectly. I like medium rare. So if you like it a little more done than that, you can cook it a little longer than that. But you can take a frozen piece of meat and put it in the air fryer and cook it and be eating within 20 minutes. So that is something that we have learned since being on carnivore. Here's the one that I was thinking about. So everybody is concerned about sides. Like, what am I going to eat on the side? Like, I'm used to having a side. I'm used to having, I want 3 things on my plate, right? So I want some meat, and I want a starch, and I want some kind of a non-starchy vegetable. Well, we're going to take away that non-starchy vegetable. We're going to take away that starch, add you some sides. So here I'm showing my plate. This is today's plate. I hope you guys can see it. This is ribeye steak, chicken wings, and bacon. So I've got 3 things on my plate. They're all meat. They're all meat. And so that makes it really nice because you can still choose a side. So you can choose to have shrimp as a side. You can choose to have bacon as a side.
Don't forget boiled eggs. You can have eggs any kind of way you like them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Anyway, you like scallops, add the scallops.
Yep, absolutely. So, don't worry about the fact, don't think about, I'm not going to be able to have sides. You can have sides. Make your side a meat side or an egg side, because you can do eggs multiple kinds of ways. We were all in our group doing deviled eggs recently. Like one person started out doing deviled eggs, and then everybody in the group proceeded to do deviled eggs, and so that makes it really, really nice.
Robyn, let me just add, when you have breakfast, for me, I'm on a ship. I do bacon, pork sausage. You can have some little slice of ham if you want. You can creatively make yourself some jack salmon. Some people call it jack salmon mackerel, whatever you want to call yours.
Mhm.
There's one I actually will take my eggs and I'll put a can of tuna in it, drain it, of course. And I like to scramble mine like that sometimes. So there are omelets. Just leave the vegetables off. So there are
Right.
so many things. And as you were saying, I can see somebody in the audience saying, "Well, I just get tired of eating just meat." You probably will. And guess what? You won't be hungry.
That's
So
right.
now all of a sudden, your house got clean. Now all of a sudden, you were able to help the kids with homework. You don't realize how much time, but I'm away from my part.
All
So let
right.
I
me
just thought
just
about that.
add too
Go ahead.
the idea we say meal prepping. When I'm working with my clients, I teach them food prepping. So we don't even think in terms of I have to have a meal, I have to have a lunch, I have to have a breakfast, I have to. You need fuel basically to fuel your body, whatever that looks like. You don't have some special way that you do when you go to the gas tank for your car. You just give it what it needs to do what it needs to do.
To
And
do.
that's essentially what we're saying as well. Like choose things that are going to make you satiated. That's a word that all my people are like proper now because they can say satiated. But that's what you're looking for, is to be in a state of satiety so that you are not hunting all day long ravenous for food because your body has not gotten the nutrients that it needs.
And I let me give you an example that you
Right.
didn't get the nutrients that you need, because you'll be cooking one meal, planning the next one. You sitting up here having a conversation. "Ooh, I got a taste for it." You'll start naming different things, but that's not even the food that's in front of you. Food has come in and taken over. Now we're gonna put it where it needs to be. In for Go ahead, Oh no, it's not DeNitra's turn. Stop. I was getting ready to say that car analogy,
No
girl, that car
problem.
analogy, but I'm gonna do that. Come on, let's keep going.
All
It's my
right. So
turn
we're
next,
talking all
y'all. Hold
about
on.
this.
Go get your friends, cause I got a story to tell y'all. Go ahead.
Right.
Let me
So
mute myself.
share this video right now. Think about it. Go ahead and share it out so that the people can get in here to hear this story that Gia is going to be telling us shortly. But what am I supposed to be eating? Right? What to eat and what to avoid. We've been talking all over this slide. So we're prioritizing fatty cuts of meat for energy and satiety. You need to be eating, especially if you're just getting started. Eat to satiety. I cannot say that enough. You need to make sure that you're full and satiated, or you're going to be having cravings. And so you're going to eat things like ribeye, brisket, pork belly. Pork belly is a really, really good one, nice and fatty, and absolutely delicious. So you can put, for variety, we talked about those different sides that you can have. You can include seafood. You can do use some crab legs. I can't wait. My mom is coming over here pretty soon, and we're gonna have a crab leg lunch because you can just eat all the crab legs you want. You can be at an all you can eat crab leg buffet at your house, and it's
And dip it
absolutely,
in butter. And
and
dip
dip
it
it in
in
butter, in
butter.
Let
real
me just
doggone butter.
put a pin right here. If you do it at the casino, take your own butter because that ain't butter that they got at the casino. That is seed oils. Get your
All
own
right.
butter, which you can get bougie and take your own little light candle with you.
All right. Oh, that's a smart idea.
It happens.
Salmons, sardines. So I love to incorporate sardines. So if you're making tuna, add you a can of sardines in there. That works out really nice. And that's a good way to get those sardines in. Shrimp. So we want to avoid spices that trigger cravings. We want to avoid spices that we have sensitivity to. Focus on salt. So I want to mention again, Umbrella Girl is dangerous. She has sugar. That little blue container with the umbrella girl on it, don't use that. Get you some pink Himalayan sea salt or some Celtic salt, or pink salt, something like that, but avoid the umbrella girl at all costs. So we're avoiding processed foods. So anything that comes in a package and has a list of ingredients, as long as you're armed, we don't want to use that. Sugar. we just heard and we keep hearing that we can have our body can only manage 1 teaspoon of sugar at a time, right? So if you're eating 4 carbohydrates, and I got this math from DeNitra, 4 carbohydrates equals 1 teaspoon of sugar. If you're eating 100 carbohydrates in a day, can you imagine what your body is completely freaking out. Like, what the heck is going on here? I can't even figure out what I'm supposed to do with all this sugar. And there it is on the lady's arm that we just saw, right?
You
So
took the words out of my mouth. This is what it does with it. This is what it does with it. This is what it does with it, guys.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So dairy is another one that can be a little bit tricky because dairy is technically a carnivore food. And but a lot of people have sensitivity to it. Some people have an issue with a dairy addiction because dairy does have the casomorphine in it, which is highly addictive. So and it also can stall your progress. So if your goal is weight loss, then you may want to consider eliminating dairy. And then the sweeteners, the sweet taste, the sugars, avoiding those sweeteners, even if they're keto friendly sweeteners, because they can fuel your cravings. All right. So is carnivore expensive? This is a question that everybody says, like, I can't afford to eat all that meat. So think about if you're taking out all of those boxes and packages and all of that stuff, how much money you're going to save. You're putting that all towards meat. But you can find your affordable meat options by looking for your deals. There's an app, it's called Flip, Flipp. Get that app, download it, put in there the things that you're looking for. If you're looking for bacon on sale, if you're looking for, I just have steak in mind. I want to know every time steak goes on sale in my area. And so look for the deals, get the ground beef, get the big old giant roll of ground beef and cook up a whole bunch of burger patties or freeze it in portions. So you're getting a better deal on it from a per pound perspective. Those chicken leg quarters. Chicken leg quarters are perfect. They're so fatty. They've got the thigh and the leg. And so they're a very, very good option. And they're usually a lot cheaper than buying a chicken thigh or chicken legs by themselves. So I know I used to be able to get like a 10-pound package of that for $4 or something. It was really, really cheap.
Now, Robyn, let me just say to people, because when I tell them about eating the dark meat of the chicken, the first thing that I get is, can I eat the skin? Yes. You want to eat your skin. It's good for you. I know you've been told otherwise, but yes, eat the skin of your chicken.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. Okay, so buy in bulk, shop at the warehouse stores if you can, Sam's Club, Costco, BJ's, those kinds of places. And then go to your butcher shop and get the deals that they've got. But going to the farmer is a really, really good way to save money on if you can afford to buy a portion of an animal, it's going to save you money on the meat overall from a per pound pricing perspective. Stock your essentials. I love Redmond real salt. Get your Himalayan salt, pink salt for your electrolytes. Make sure that you are, incorporating electrolytes, particularly if you're just getting started on a ketogenic diet. You do not want to get the carnivore flu. And if you're feeling sick and fluish, you need to make sure that you're amping up those electrolytes and getting those electrolytes in. So we're talking about sodium, magnesium, and potassium. Those are the 3 electrolytes that you'll want to,
And Robyn, I just want to put a plug right there for Salt Tea.
Okay.
SALTT. Salt Tea is a good, clean electrolyte that you can try. They have several different flavors. Right now, I am loving on their chocolate flavor. It's a chocolate, and then they have a chocolate caramel. I mix those together with a little butter, with about 16 ounces of hot water. Amazing. So check out Salty, SALTT.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. I'm getting ready to wrap up here. Do I need organ meats? A lot of people ask this question. No, you do not need to eat organ meats, but they're definitely good for you. They're very nutrient dense, but but those are optional. But you could start, and I did hear that one of our ladies in our group was saying that she takes the liver and chops it up into small little things and freezes them and then pops them like a pill. I like liver personally, so I can just cook it up and eat it. But if you don't like it, then that might be an option for you. What if I get bored? If you get bored, you're probably not hungry. That's what I think. You're probably not hungry, but you can rotate your protein sources, beef, pork, chicken, lamb. If you're just like a person who needs a lot of variety, add those meat sides to your meats. Try your different cooking methods. Maybe you want to fry something one day and grill it the next day and then bake it the next day, something like that. And then, want to experiment with different textures like crunchy and juicy. Those are the things that are on the slide. How do I handle cravings or carb withdrawal? So we're going to focus on eating the fatty meat. Focus on eating the fatty meat until satiety. Make sure that you're full. You should not be hungry on this way of eating. Your problem should be like, I am suddenly not hungry. So yeah, you're gonna eat enough to feel satiated. Stay hydrated and make sure you replenish your electrolytes. And then do some non-food activities. Join our walking challenge. 14,400 steps a day. You're going to spend so much time walking, you won't even have time to eat. You'll spend all your time marching in place trying to get those steps in. So stay consistent, be prepared, have your carnivore friendly snacks on hand, find a support network. I'm going to give a plug for the Hey Sister Girl Facebook group. And come and find us on Facebook at Hey Sister Girl, and we would love to have you. And then you can share your wins, you can share your challenges with all the people that are in your community. Community is a big key for success. So at this point, we are going to turn it over to G, and G is going to talk about overcoming challenges and long-term success.
Hey, everybody. Hold on, let me okay, go on, get me in there, then I won't be doing. All right, so some of the things that I'm going to cover has to do with, let me make myself comfortable, according to here, some common challenges. But before I start, for anyone that's on here, let me go to right here. So this is my, what is this thing called? Website. If you go there, that little arrow points up, right? On that arrow, if you touch that, you got to drop down. There is a menu. A 4-week for the entire month is on there. That's what the website and stuff looks like. gbrown.com, GIEBROWN.com. If you go there, fill out that little questionnaire, and then the ebook will come to you with the menus. Their sample menus. You can go with it or say, oh, wait a minute, I've never had that. Scratch that out and put the thing that you want in there. Okay. And I love, Robyn, how you guys have broken this thing down. So I'm on a ship right now. That's not the picture from my house. I'm in the cabin, and this cruise is 11 nights. The internet was messed up last week. That's why I wasn't here. Now, at the beginning of here, I showed some different photographs and stuff, but this is the one that means the most to me. Let me get to it. Okay, there it is. All right, I'm not finna show y'all yet. I got a story to tell you. Social situations and eating out. When I travel, we had this conversation inside of our ladies group. We talked about a road trip. Y'all know, either the night before or before you go out, or y'all will spend $50 in a gas station. You try to go to the dollar store, you get the box. Everybody gonna get they had it individuals. We've gotten so that we even sell things to go over the back seat to allow our children, and we wonder why they're ADHD and on the spectrum. All these sugar drinks and everything with their monitor in front of them for the road trip. I take my boiled eggs, I take my bacon, and I also dehydrate hamburger meat, pork loin. I've done lamb, and my husband actually likes that country ham because it's already thinly sliced. I'll put that in the dehydrator, and bam, those are some of your things to snack on. Take your food ahead of time. Let people know. I don't get my best results when I eat that. Um, I'm uh I'm doing an elimination right now. However, now people don't say anything to me. As a matter of fact, you want to know how I'm looking like this. Ironically, the shirt that I have on tonight, I wore to dinner, and it says, "Never be big again." I have my big body right here weighing 260 pounds. When you drag on across, that was my vegan life. It's now a carnivore of where I am that I've been my healthiest that led me to come onto a show to tell you about. This is remarkable. All right, let me see what my next thing is. I'm on here, and a lot of times people will look over and see that I'm eating only meat. And then at some point, they get up the nerves to turn around and ask, which will lead to, of course, a conversation. And if nothing else, if you start beginning to think about the food, when I say to you, if you take and you went to the zoo, and these are the animals that you saw at the zoo, y'all will be calling Peter. Y'all will be, and if you went to your friend's house and saw her dog look like that, you would be like, oh my God. But we do it all the time. And we see nothing wrong with this. We say that they eat too much. We say that oh, they just need to diet and exercise. Well, let me just explain to you that calorie deficit that we look at them and say, you're not getting ready to live the rest of your life like that. Let's just be realistic. We can't get you to walk 2 weeks. I'm just being truthful. You might not like me. Go on somebody else's channel. I'm just telling the truth right now. And I think it's like this because I'm seeing so much of it on the ship. I'm seeing people with oxygen. There's so many motorized scooters on here. And you're headed to the buffet. Not making the connection that you are headed to that trough that's making you sick. But we'll go to the doctor and get an ointment to rub on us, or we'll go and take that pill. No, that's not what you're supposed. You don't even need to go see the doctor. Let the truth be told. You know what the doctors are supposed to be for? You were out hiking and you sprained your ankle. Go see a doctor. That's it. Some ice was out. You had a slip and fall. Go see a doctor. Somebody bumped your car. You're in a car accident. Go see the doctor. That's what the doctor is for. Just think about it. All the Western shows that you saw. You just did something. They got bit by a rattlesnake. Oh, go get the medicine man. What? That's what they were for. Not what we have around now. And I love, DeNitra, how you turned around and said, everything that you're eating outside of meat, 90% of it comes from plants. Because they turned around and did that. And most of them are genetically modified. Don't let that secret out. So now we're making things that you were never designed to eat. And I love how you said, DeNitra, that lion will die before he eats some grass. Matter of fact, the grass, he gonna lay down in the grass and just take. That's what the grass was for, to hold and receive back his body. That's what it was for. And what I didn't say, what I was saying earlier, when she talks about the car, we drive cars all the time. And some people use that, fuel. Okay, the fuel is the meat, and then the other compartments like the oil, the windshield wiper fluid, the brake fluid, all of those different things like that. Those other things that come in can be your electrolyte, your magnesium, but all of that stuff is still over into that meat. I don't know another way. For those that are watching live or replay, and you know me, when I was vegan, you didn't see me on here saying, girl, come on. Every now and then I might have said meatless Monday, something to that degree. What I'm coming on here to tell you, I still needed back surgery. I still had bursitis. I still had fibromyalgia. I developed high blood pressure. I still had all these different things. And none of y'all stopped to save me with my big old butt. 260 something pounds. Oh, we ain't got to lie. I got the proof, honey. I got the proof. Let me show you. They're all my sizes. Look at me right there on the left. On the standard American diet. That's what SAD stands for. That's me as a vegan in the middle. Do you know how tired I get trying to calorie restrict? But let me tell you what I had tonight. This is night 9 on the ship. I had a medium rare steak. I had I had shrimp cocktail with no cocktail, so I had the shrimp. I had salmon, and then I had them serve it in a bowl so I can break it up, and I put like a half a stick of butter on it and mix it up and put my Redmond salt on it. So that sat there, and then y'all, let me tell you what they did. I asked them for a bowl of fat, and he put that joker in the oven, and they were so crispy. I took my hot sauce. Now I still have red hot, and they was laughing at me, baby, because the first thing I ate was the bowl of fat. That's what I wanted over everything. You know why? My body told me. I had fish, steak, and fat. And my body said, eat the fat first. It told me what to do. And baby, when I say to you how great, I left that joker like this, right? It just does something different to you because I know that is working on the inside of my body. All right, advance a few questions, optimizing energy levels. This was a question that I talked about at dinner tonight. You operate off of carbohydrates. So then that means when you try to, you know what, I'm a fast till 12, and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm lightheaded. Oh, give me a peppermint. Oh, somebody, oh, bring me some orange juice. You doing all of that, right? Yeah, you're not dying. You're not. You're switching over. That was probably the best thing that needed to happen to you. You should have eaten some meat, taken some electrolytes, drank some water, and kept pressing on. That was it. But no. Oh, somebody. Oh, a Snicker bar. Yeah, you want a Snicker bar? You want all of that other stuff, so your sugar level pop up again. And now here comes the insulin. It's like, let me tell you what the insulin said. I heard it in a dream. Heifer, please stop. That's what it said. It really, really said that. Y'all just didn't hear it, but I heard it in a dream. Here she go, or here he go again. We just calmed down. And here they go again. Eating again. Eating again. What animal you know to just sit around and just eat and eat and eat? Oh, that's them hogs, ain't it? And some people laugh and say, "Man, I ate that thing. I was a hog when I ate." We start to brag on it. We start, "Ooh, I know this ain't good for me." Okay, well, here's where I am. I'm not pushing nobody's wheelchair. I'm not doing any of those things, and I don't want it done for me. I want to continue to move forward just like this, which led to a conversation today where someone said, I got to have my vegetables. Okay. I got to have these things. Oh, I don't know how you do that. I said, okay. And then I made the comment, I'm 60 years old and I can turn a cartwheel. Well, then their reply was, they 70. And then I replied, no disrespect, but baby, I won't even look like you when I'm 70. I will still look like this. And I was not trying to hurt her feelings or anything. That food has aged most of us. And I won't even talk about being out in the sun, because here's the thing, because you're eating the wrong food, that's what's doing your skin. The sun ain't gave you cancer. All this stuff going
Ooh,
on.
gee, I have to say something right there.
Go, girl. Hold up. Look. Boop.
So you just nailed it on that with the sun. We keep blaming the sun. We think we need sunscreen. It is what your body is cooking, literally cooking what's inside of you, the reason why you're getting sunburn, having sun issues. I used to think the same thing. Now, when I was younger, never had a problem with the sun. When I learned how to eat this garbage, I'm like, my neck burning, my arm burning, this burning. But when I took the sugars out, y'all, sun is your friend. This is why they have us on a vitamin D pill, right? This is why every person primarily, is vitamin D deficient. It is because our body is not absorbing vitamin D from the sun because of the sugar. I just had to say that. You struck something in me about these skin issues that we have.
Yes, it's so many of them, and I see it. And so here's the thing. Your eyes was not supposed to go bad. Everything that we're doing, there's some money connected to it. So all of a sudden, because you having these issues, now you need sunglasses. But when you put the sunglasses on, you blocked your eye from the sun, which the sun, when it beams into the eye, that tells the brain, protect the skin. And you done missed everything because now you got glasses on and you're not eating the right stuff, and now you burn. So now you got to go and put all of this on you. All you look for is what that number is on the front of that bottle. 30, 15, 10. You ain't looked at now another ingredient. How I know? Because I didn't either. They just said you needed sunscreen. And you grabbed that can, you looked at the price. It's like, ooh, but I heard you get a good tan off. That's how you standing there making decisions. On the tan, I'm talking lighter metal. You talking about the tan that you're gonna get, all this other stuff on what you get ready to put on your body without even looking at it. And you didn't need any of it, because if you ate only meat, remove the sunglasses. Oh, come on now, remove the sunglasses, and then the sun gonna hit the eye, and the eye gonna tell the brain, protect the skin. And bam, there it is. If you guys go back and look at some of my older videos, I wore glasses almost on every episode. None of the prescriptions work, and I got 50 pair. So I don't even do the sunglasses anymore. This is me with the sun. Come on, give it to me. I sat out there today, and look, I've been out in the sun all week. This is what you get. Because the sun hit here, told the brain, protect the skin. Yes. There are so many things. Oh, Tara, stop it. I know. And you get, especially when you know what's going on, and I see it. And so hopefully on this show today, you have the first, second, and third steps of what, first of all, you're thinking about food and you're here. So, sister girl, I thank you. The next thing is you can go to the website. You can reach out to anybody. We do have a free Facebook group. Hey, sister girl, you can be over in there. We drop knowledge and stuff in there. We're in a movement challenge right now. Get your movement on, whether that movement is sitting, walking in place, or walking. It's about movement. Then DeNitra did another one. We back on the car. Why you keep putting gas in your car and you ain't drove out what you put in it already? I ain't never seen nobody go to the gas station, fill up their car, go through the car wash, go home and park it, and then tomorrow go back to the gas station and try and put some gas in it. You just gonna look, you're gonna do this up, it's starting to run out. Hold on. Let it settle down some, let it settle down. And you hit it, okay, it can't take no more. And then you go home and you be back tomorrow to the gas station. That's the part I don't understand. You're doing the exact same thing with food. You ain't burned now calorie, as you would say. No, you've done no movement. You've been sitting. Your job enables you to sit. Your car enables you to sit. Watching television enabled you to sit. On the computer enabled you to sit. Being on YouTube enabled you to sit. But when I get off here, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk a little bit. I actually got my steps for the day, but I feel like I can move. And I'm doing that so tomorrow, when it's time to fuel me, I'll actually have room to put fuel in. That's the biggest thing. So I hope
Got some
that I got
questions.
on. All right, what is it?
All right. Star Hope wants to know, what brand of bacon do you use? I'll
Like,
say that I use the Kirkland brand, the thick
oh,
slice
okay.
one.
And I
I
use Sam's. I put mine in the chat already. I use the Sam's brand. Now, it used to be called a Wright's Girl. I love Wright's
Right,
bacon.
bacon is
That's
In
good.
it.
the
W-O.
cabinet at Sam's, they're right next to each other. They're the same amount of pounds. Wright's costs 19, and the Sam's brand costs 14. I'm like,
Yep.
just give me the Sam's brand. And I
Now,
use when you talk about purse
but did you
bacon,
look on the back of them? Because if I'm not mistaken, the right one, that is the least amount of sugar. But then I'm on the ship. I'm eating anybody bacon right
that's
now.
right.
So
So plug for Dr. Barry. He has a video out about bacon where it is really healthy for you. I know bacon has been demonized, but I eat bacon every day. Literally before I came on the show, I have a little thing here. I was eating bacon and I cooked the whole pack. When I was younger, I cooked a couple of strips, fixed some eggs and some pancakes. Now I cook the whole pack of bacon at one time in the oven, and that becomes a snack for me. I'm starting to travel tomorrow. I'll be on the road for several days, and guess what? I'm baking up. What's
All
the next
right.
question we got? Because
so
this is
let me
Next
question
ask
night.
question.
let
Oops.
me ask this to the people for them to put in the comment. So bacon, egg, sausage, ham for breakfast, burger patties or whatever, steak and eggs for dinner. And look, Robyn started talking about the air fryer, your slow cooker. She never hit you for outside with the smoker and the
Girl.
grill. Honey, you better
Yes.
stop it.
Right.
So G, you said a major thing there because my husband, before we travel, he grills up. Literally, we were on the way to Hawaii eating ribs. Like the folks was on the plane talking about, did we have ribs on here? So So now look, we took our meat with us. They wouldn't let us come back with our meat, but everywhere we travel to, we take our own meat because you just can't trust, and it saves you money. You don't have to be in the airport. And another tip for those of you that travel on a plane, if you freeze your water, you can take your water on a plane. If you're going on a long journey, if you freeze it,
Yes.
then you can take that on the plane. We freeze our water ahead of time. So next question from
Very good. I
Viola
just have a
Lily.
comment here. This is
I
Viola's
want
little
what you
Lily.
call it. No, I just put her in the group. I think
Okay.
wait a minute. I done messed
Super.
her name up. Yes,
Simpson.
and hey sis,
Yay.
yes,
Welcome,
Shadaisha.
Simpson.
Come on, girl. You better get this. Okay,
All
what was
right.
the question?
So Viola's Lily said, I'm the one that had the bologna and cheese to prevent eating a loaded baked potato last night. It worked like a charm. This is the right swap, right? Craving buster.
Yes.
Yep.
Take that
Yep.
cheese and that bologna, roll it up, put them in some Ziploc bags. There's something else. People ask, even like in regards to their kids and going to school. Y'all, your baby is getting all them notes and all this stuff. You in all them teacher conferences. You debating whether or not you want to put him on meds. Put him on so he can just behave. And don't get me started on the school system, but just to behave. But I promise you, you load that joke up with some meat. This how he gonna be in there just straight. All right, Leah Lane, I see you. He gonna be in there just straight,
All
chilling.
right. Question: would egg life wraps be okay?
Yes, I answered that earlier. So I use the Egg Life whites for several different things. You can use them for tacos. You can use them for almost anything. So when I do my taco classes, I teach them how to use it. You can use it as a pizza crust. You can fry it, use it as a pizza crust. You want to make sure, because there are two brands out there, you want to make sure you get the cleanest one that basically says Egg Life. I mean, it only says egg whites on the back. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is you can make them yourself. So if you come to my class where I teach people how to make ice cream using Carnivore products, then you have lots of egg whites left. You can literally roll that egg white across the plate if you've used the yolks for something else, and you can make your own. So there's no reason why you can't have taco night, why you can't have burrito night. All you're doing is doing an ingredient switch. You're changing over to something better.
Exactly.
Great question.
All right.
Let
Can
me
I
say,
add sardines to
Leah
shrimp?
Lane, I need for you to go and answer the questions. Or I can't let you. Can't let you. They simple questions. Keto.
Is that
carnivore,
Simpson?
Yeah, I decline. Yeah, somebody. Yeah, guys, make sure if you go into the group that there are some questions to answer.
Yeah, they
Okay,
simple.
all
They
for
not.
Jesus Carnivore. Can I add sardines to shrimp? Yes. Can you add shrimp to sardines? Yes. Can you add shrimp to steak? Yes. Can you add shrimp to your eggs? Yes. Can you add shrimps to your boiled eggs? Yes.
Yes.
The answer to shrimp and sardines is yes.
Yes.
And let me tell y'all a little trick. I was working with someone today that doesn't eat beef at all, but they do eat salmon. They eat a lot of salmon. And I told them you can use smoked salmon in the pack. Put that in your eggs. Like, it's no taste like that. It's amazing. So this is where you get a little creative, but you're staying on track, and you will see that you will feel better once you're eating real foods, getting real nutrients to your brain.
Yeah.
All right. So this last one.
Oh, you look. You are. Come on now.
Come on, all for Jesus Carnivore.
Listen, and y'all, let me just look. When I get off of this one, we driving to the next port. I'm finna get on another one, and it's just, I have more years behind me than I have in front of me. I'm gonna eat right. I'm gonna enjoy what God put out here. Because let me tell you, there's some people with some beachfront properties. But baby, this morning I had breakfast in the freaking ocean. You hear me? Looking at, come on now, get healthy. Get out them wheelchairs, leave them walkers alone, leave them canes alone, leave that bad hip alone with that slight little walk, because that joker hurting. And I feel really bad for Tabitha Brown, and y'all can let her know because she just had to have a hip replacement.
Yeah.
And she my vegan girl, because I followed her. I was with her when she was in the kitchen with the white cabinets, with the wooden spoon, and she was naming Donna. So I followed her. I was eating those same things. That's where I was laughing and stuff. Listen, let me tell y'all something, vegans. Them boiled nuts does not taste like taco meat. I don't care how much seasoning sauce that we put on it. And I was saying, yeah, this tastes really good. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. All these other things that we're trying to do and just egg is a good substitute. But it's a horrible texture. And y'all can keep saying that it is if you want to. It's horrible. And let me forewarn you of this. About 5-10 years ago, kale was the decoration on the salad bar.
That's right.
At Pizza Hut.
At Pizza Hut.
It was not meant to be eaten.
Not only is it on your plate, we make kale chips. It's like somebody out and they just find it on the ground and you putting it in your mouth. Me too.
Literally
I
on the ground.
Literally
literally.
on the ground. All right, you guys, it's
I
time to
know.
wrap it up, y'all.
So
I
let
know we
Go.
are on a roll.
Yes, this is all good, but this is carnivore month, so I'm looking for people in the chat that are not carnivore, haven't been carnivore, haven't tried carnivore. What are your questions about getting started? What are the things that are holding you back? Let's see those questions, and then we're gonna start wrapping this up. If you
And
are
while
not
y'all
a
writing them
carnivore,
questions in, let me show y'all some before and afters. This one is Robyn. Come on, you see her on that standard American diet? You see my baby, you see my girl. Hold on, let me go down here. Here's the before and after. We talk in regard, y'all. Go keep looking like how y'all look. Wait a minute. Who is this sister right here? Huh? Baby, y'all know why I showed this picture. Okay, look, I need y'all to look at that girl. Baby, look at her legs. Huh?
mm-hmm.
Baby, look at that little bow in them legs, huh? Babe, you know you cute when you put your hand on your hip, right? You know you cute when you put your hand on your hip. Wait, who we got right here? Husband and wife.
Yeah.
Husband and wife. Here go one of me. Come on, standard American diet, doing your thing. Now here go husband and wife. We was on an airplane on that on the one on the left. We was on a cruise ship on the one on the right. Now, what's our questions? Listen, this works. Y'all stay, go ahead. You can't tell me I ain't cute at 60.
So the thing is this, guys, we appreciate you all continuing to join every week, inviting other people to join. Our goal is to make sure that you are healing. Medicines are not meant to heal you. They're meant to treat you until you die. They help you get a little bit better. My husband and I call healthcare death care.
Mm-hmm.
They have no incentive to make you better. The insurance companies are not making them make you better. And we're just saying, give this way of life a try. Start with 7 days. You may experience what they call the keto flu, which simply means that your body is switching over. It is going from being a sugar burner to being
A fat burner.
to being a fat burner. And you want to burn, I call it inflammation. You want to burn this inflammation off your body so that you can see the true self. A lot of things that we're dealing with have nothing to do with our age. Nothing at all to do with age. They are all about what we've been eating as we've been aging. And so we get an opportunity to change that. And you can start tonight. If you don't come in tonight, come in the group. A lot of you joined the group tonight. We're building the group up. Invite other ladies. Grab your girlfriends and get them in the group. Let's do this together. Let's get healed together.
Healed together. Yep. Until then.
All right, y'all. We'll see
Good night,
y'all next
everybody.
week. Same place, same time.
There
Bye,
you
everybody.
go. Good night.